Guys, how you doing? I cannot believe that I haven't talked about this already, but finally I'm going to get into it. Let's talk about financial planning through a separation or a divorce. So if you don't know this about me, I'm in a new home. I was in the new place because I got separated close to 2 years ago. And certainly not finalized through the splitting of assets and everything. And that's not somewhere where we can really come in and help you. But today I want to talk about, financial planning post sort of the legal aspects of it. Because sure, we can talk about it. I can give you a rough idea of, how much you're going to owe or how much you're going to potentially receive and how that might potentially look. But at the end of the day, that's up to the court system. Generally speaking, people are hiding money or doing these other things. It's supposed to be a 50-50 split financially. It's supposed to be even. Now, as many of you might have noticed, inflation has been pretty aggressive for the last few years. So an absolutely perfect time to get separated and increase your expenses so much. So today I actually just had, lunch with a client, a girl I went to high school with that's been separated or divorced a little bit longer than me. And, most of the conversation today is very good with money is me just being like, look, you're on the right track. You're doing really well. You don't have any debt. All of these things, you're doing fantastic. This is very, very difficult. So, the biggest thing, the biggest challenge you're going to have to overcome is being, a single person covering all of the bills. Now you're covering all of rent or all of your mortgage, all your property tax, all utilities. You've got two of a lot of the same things in one family group. So, and then depending on what your alimony and child support might be, that could be cost prohibitive. So one of the first things you're going to really need to focus in on once this separation happens is cash flow. How does that look? What debt do you have? What's your income look like? What are your expenses? You're going to need to dial it in, unfortunately. Truth be told, it's just not going to be easy. I would imagine that there are, hundreds of thousands of people out there that are probably in, situations that they don't want to be in, but it's just impossible. They can't afford to get out of that situation. It's really sad, but, I think that's a fact of life. So, these are the types of things that a financial planner or advisor or somebody should help with. And the first one that comes to mind for me is cash flow, getting that really sorted in. And then you're going to want to take a look at everything else because everything else has now changed. So your retirement plan is now way different. You might have some new assets coming in because you're going to get, half of, your ex-hubby's pension or RSP or TFSA or however the equity in the home goes or whatever. So, if you don't, maybe you have a house now, but you don't have any retirement investments, well, then you need to start building those up. So you need to completely redo your retirement plan and get on track for whatever you want that to look like. Not a very difficult process, as far as outlining what needs to be done. That being said, it might be a heck of a lot harder than just saying that because money is going to probably be really tight. So it's going to be hard to save for your future. You're going to want now to look at asset management because, maybe you've got your hubby's, old group plan that's going to come in. How do you need to invest that? Or they have a guy they're working with or vice versa and you don't really like them and you want to move on. So you want to see how you should be investing your money, whatever's left, or, you got more, or maybe you have had to, get rid of half of that. Insurance is another thing. So if you had life insurance to protect your spouse, you don't necessarily need that anymore unless you owe your spouse alimony. So then in that case, you're probably going to get a small policy that's inexpensive just to cover what you would owe should something happen to you. but then you're going to potentially want to protect yourself because now you're a single income earner trying to cover all these bills. You might need to cover yourself for, illness or disability, where life insurance might not be as important, except that, or you just want to change the beneficiaries to your children. Tax planning doesn't come huge into play, until retirement, or unless you're a small business owner. I mean, for just a regular salaried employee or whatever, that's just sort of RSPs and TFSAs. There's not much to it, but you might be getting some extra taxable income from your ex. The child support is going to be tax-free, but the alimony is going to be taxable income. You might say, let's say you're getting $1,000 a month. Well, you need to prepare for that extra tax bill instead of spending that, because that's income to you. And last but not least, now you have a completely different estate plan. You're not going to pass away together if you have children. What do you want to do? How do you want that to look? Where do you want your assets to go? What if something happens to both of you? You're going to probably need to talk to your ex about this a little bit, and hopefully you guys are still talking, to kind of design what that might look like. What happens if both of you pass away? Where do you want, the kids to go? Whatever, so on and so forth. So all I'm saying is it's definitely worth, having sit down full conversation about your whole financial picture once you're single again, because it's completely different and you're going to need a new roadmap. And that's the kind of thing that we would help with, or, a good advisor anywhere else would. So if that's the case, we'd be happy to hear from you. And thanks for watching. We'll chat with you soon. Cheers.